Hello everyone, this is Lucas from Enterprise Repair and Automation Edmonton, coming at you today from my truck camper. I just finished boondocking last night. There's the Pathfinder behind me, and I was boondocking here in the west end industrial end of Edmonton, and I woke up this morning. We had lots of rain last night. Everything's looking really gorgeous and green. You can see I'm on this side of this gorgeous green field, and I just wanted to go through all the parts of my truck camper today. This is a very old camper. I'm not going to show too much of it on the outside. I don't want everybody to know what my stuff looks like. Don't want no stalkers, yo. So we're at the side of the camper right now, and I'm going to go through the start. And the very first thing I had to figure out was how to mount this thing. I didn't have any proper camper mounts, so I went out and I just got a whole bunch of these turnbuckles. And if you look at the side here, down on the side of the box, there's actually a perfect little groove for that turnbuckle to slide in there. This is a Ford F-150 King Cab, and I just put it up like that. That's how I did it. I got my links, chain, and turnbuckles, and I just snugged everything down at the front. The same on the other side. In here, this used to be the propane bay, is now my generator bay, and I have this old GenMate 2-stroke generator that I had fixed. This GenMate 2-stroke generator I fixed, I used a tuna can to replace the air box, and I got a nylon over top of it to act as a filter. The breaker in it was bad, so I replaced the breaker with a fuse. The switch I still haven't mounted yet, but I don't really need to. It works just fine just like that. And I replaced the plug, but I also want to get a new plug for it because it says this is a 2-stroke, it shakes a lot, and after a long period of use the plug will actually fall out, so I want to put it to a twist slot. I also had to replace the spark plug and wire. I got a racing wire for my generator here, which is kind of cool. Again, I picked a lot of this stuff up at Canadian Tire. Gas tank was full of sludge. I had to rinse it out 5 times. And I ended up dumping the gas into the truck with a lot of brand new gas, and I ended up burning it, so there was no waste. And I just put this hasp on here so that nobody can get in here and try to get at my stuff. This just locks up. On the back here, I got my bike rack. Well, here, I'll do the other mount first. So this is what the mount looks like on the back the other way. So again, just another turnbuckle. And again, underneath the truck, I got 4 points with these turnbuckles and heavy chains on. This thing ain't going nowhere. So to mount my bike on the back, what I did was I just took a 2x6. I painted it gray, like I did the trim and everything else. I put a hook into it, and then I got these 2 dock rings, one here and one there. And what those dock rings allow me to do is lock my bike to it in any which configuration I want to lock it to, depending on how I'm going to do my day or whatever. I can do it in such a way that I can lock the bike against the camper so that people can't open the door when I'm not here, which is kind of an interesting way to look at it, but it's also like that added bit of security. I replaced this lock. I had this lock rebuilt. This is a rebuilt lock I got from Action Locksmiths here in Edmonton. They did a really good job. It was really cheap. I think they only charged me like $7 with the keys, and yeah, it was a good deal that way. The whole exterior I've had to like reseal, replace like little pieces of lights and stuff like that on the outside, repaint and all that kind of stuff. The roof used to leak all over the place, so I ended up using a solvent duct seal, which is a air ducting seal for exterior. They use it on the exterior of buildings to seal air ducts, and it's a solvent-based kind. Use the solvent-based kind if you want to do what I did. And I did put it all across the aluminum and everything, and then that sealed the roof for me. Inside the camper here, everything was a disaster when I got it. It took me 2 weeks to clean it out. I had critters living in here. Half the roof was missing on the inside. This is your originally is supposed to be your camper kitchen living area deal, but as you see, I've completely reinvented it. I've replaced the camper kitchen area living deal with a huge bean bag. All this is a hand sewn queen size sheet. I folded it onto itself and sewed it together, and I filled it up with 4 bags of bean bag refill from Walmart. I think it cost me $80 for the refill. And since the table was missing, I just replaced it with this inch cut off piece of plywood. I got this Home Depot. I think they have pre-cut quartered inch plywood, and I just took one of those quarters and cut the piece that I needed out of it, and then took this 2x6 here and ran it all the way across to keep the beanbag up, because before I had that, the beanbag wouldn't stay up. Now it's great. The only problem is once now you get into it, you don't want to get out of it. So it still needs a cover and all this kind of stuff, but I made it for my son. My son likes beanbags, and he wanted a beanbag for a bed in the camper, so I made it one. So you can still access your hatches underneath here. In the back here, I actually have this full of batteries. I'm not going to open it right now, but I have it full of batteries I'm going to be using for the solar panel and everything once it comes. But for right now, I just rely on the generator, and I also have this Blackweb power bank. And actually, this Blackweb power bank is pretty cool. This will charge my devices. It charges 2 of my phones. It charges my phone and my tablet 3 times. So for 3 nights, this does me for a charge. So I only have to charge up every 3 days or so out of friends or whatever. But yeah, even if I want to charge it up with my generator, I can. The curtains in here are kind of really my deal. I did it as simply and as cheaply as I could. All I did was get these headbands from the dollar store, and I just stapled them all together onto the original curtain rods. The original curtains in here were terrible. They were just, it was so bad. I have pictures, maybe I'll show later on another video of what it used to look like before, but it was very, very, very bad. So the curtains all the way around, just a stapler and some headbands. I chose blue, not because I'm in a gang, but because I'm a guy, and I thought pink wouldn't look all that hot. So all the surfaces in here, as you can see, this countertop here, something I had to replace, and all this was is a piece of plywood I sanded down, stained, and then put some varnish, a matte varnish over top of it, just to get a nice smooth area you can wipe down and all that kind of stuff. I've had to replace a lot of the doors. As you can see, a lot of the cupboard doors are missing or trashed or not working or anything like that, and I just used 1/2-inch pieces of plywood, hinges that I scavenged from old kitchen cabinets. These are these latches I got, these locking latches I got at Rona. I couldn't find them anywhere else. They work really great. I think they were $2 or $5 for 2 of them, and they hold all the doors and stuff like that for the cabinets that had failed. These top lights here, I got at Canadian Tire. They were an open box steel. They're the old incandescent kind, and they were an open box because I think the person before me couldn't figure out how they worked, but I had to take them apart and figure out how they worked, because you can only press them on the sticker. If you press them anywhere else, they don't work. So I got 3 of them for $4. They take 4 AA batteries. I've been going on for 2 weeks now, and when I'm boondocking, I try to keep things dark in here, and I try to keep things quiet, so I rarely use them. But for 2.5 weeks now, these have been working fine. Now the other one I haven't even turned on, I think maybe twice. This one here I use at least once a night, just for a couple seconds here and there, maybe to look for something if I don't know where it is. And yeah, they've been lasting like 2 weeks, so I'm pretty impressed on that. When I am hooked up to power, I do have a power bar with a surge protector and everything else, and I'll show you where the power feed is. All the appliances in here have been removed, so what used to be the fridge is now just a cold storage. I've put weather stripping along here so that it does separate itself from the outside, so there's no leaks or infiltration or bugs or anything else. But right now I'm just got my power cable just haphazardly thrown in here, and I put a twist lock on it and everything else. I didn't go too full blown on the power in here because in the end, it is supposed to be mostly solar. I did keep a lot of the wiring and all that kind of stuff that was in here as well because I may end up reusing some of it. I don't know. Basically, though, I want to start over with my base and build out from there. So this actually may get removed or whatever in the future if I find out that I can just live off the solar, because I actually don't use too much power. I'm not a gamer or anything like that stuff. I'm not trying to power TV or anything like that in here. I don't have time for that. I'm a doer, right? I don't like to do video games and stuff like that. I'd rather be making stuff like this, so, and videos and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, not my thing for gamer, and not a big power consumer. So I can probably get by with just the solar panels happily. But for now, I mean, if I need power, I got it. Lots of different ways, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the future I'll do something else with this. Maybe I'll do something with in regards to a trash burner or something like that. Maybe a heater. The furnace I took out of here. Furnace was just scary. I wasn't gonna reuse it. It was scary, just scary. Everything in here was from '76, and it had been, lived in by critters and all that kind of stuff. I could have fixed a lot of it. I could still get parts for a lot of it. I was surprised, but yeah, I didn't want to bother. So there's a lot of modern stuff out there that works a lot better. The flooring in here, replaced all the floors. It was one of the first things I did. The floors are just terrible. This was the original color of the lino that was in here. This lino I will be replacing here eventually with some more of this tile material. But these tiles are commercial grade tiles that I got from the Restore here in Edmonton. 50 cents each they charged me for these, which are pretty good. They're really, really a strong tile, and they've made an excellent floor. All the surfaces in here have been re-stained. I stained all the surfaces in here. I restained them very quickly with a very light stain, even though it doesn't look it. So all the vinyl, or not all the all the paneling and everything like that has been restained after it was cleaned, because I wanted to start over. I wanted to make sure there was no bacteria or anything like that. So I made sure that I went through this really, really well and cleaned it really, really well, and then stained everything over on top of that so that everything was as dead as a fresh start. The roof, we had a lot of roof leak problems. The first problem was that the hatch was missing. This hatch I replaced, and all I used was a dryer door. I'm serious. I used a dryer door, the hinges, the whole 9 yards. I just put it up there. It's been up there for a while, and it works. It doesn't work great. I've had to nip the end off and kind of refold it down a little bit because it was too long, but it works great. I don't get any rain in here. It rained really hard last night, and I don't get any rain in here at all. So yeah, I'm happy about that. These little bubbles that you see in the roof here are actually spray foam. There's some over here too. There were areas of the roof that were just very, very, very badly destroyed, and I used anything I could to basically just get the roof back up, sealed down, and some structure to it. So there's a lot of spray foam in the roof. I put a lot of it. I think I emptied about 4 cans of spray foam all in all in the end, and it's great because it actually does work as a really good insulator, and it's given the roof so much structure now, and I don't have to worry about the leaks. Like I said, I used the duct seal on the outside there, and yeah, it's just been great. This piece here is actually a piece of coroplast. It's an old sign, and you can see I got this transition here, and what I've done with a lot of the places where I've had holes or I've had to spray foam or anything like that, I just put aluminum foil tape over top of it before I painted it, and then I painted the whole thing white. So it was a good start over. I mean, it's cheap and easy and quick. None of the boards were rotten. I was lucky that way, but a lot of the the insulation and soft material and all that kind of stuff that was rotten, I pulled it all out, and either spray foam replaced it. I also used some of that that thermal board stuff, the foil and foam board stuff as well in behind here as well. So I did keep a lot of the insulation because I knew I'm probably going to run this in the winter. Still haven't done anything with this yet. This is your port that looks at the front. So if we look at here, we can see at the front of the truck. So people can see in there, and what I've been doing is just kind of pulling this down here. But I got some Velcro tabs, and I'm actually looking for something nice to put over there, like some kind of maybe mock-ass painting or something like that I can just like a Velcro over top of there that looks cool. In regards to bathing and sanitation, so here I got this old wash tub I picked up at PV Mart. I got it for 25 bucks, I think it was. And I just do my bathing in this. You do the Chris Hadfield astronaut sponge bath type deal, and it works great. You can kind of rig up a shower. I kind of got something that rigs up a shower with some bottles and stuff like that. But honestly, if it's good enough for Chris Hadfield, dude, it's good enough for you. I mean, I'm a guy, right? I don't need a friggin' 4-hour shower. I don't really need it, right? You just want to make sure that you're properly soaped and properly rinsed, and that's it. That's all you need. This little setup that I have here, it's just sitting on a coat hook. I hang my wash rag from the bottom here, and then I put my towel over top like this. And every night when I come home, the towel's dry, the wash rag's dry, and everything just works great. I mean, just one shower a day, and it doesn't get too wet or anything like that. It doesn't get in the way, and it works great. For a toilet, I have a bag toilet. If you want to learn about bag toilets, go online. Like that. So we have that. For sinks, cooking, all that kind of stuff. In here I have, as you can see, I have a very large bedpan in there. That was a brand new bedpan. I got it from a friend of mine. And I have this also, which is a surgery tray. And I use that surgery tray to put my propane burner and stuff on. So I'll use this to cook on. This is just a simple propane burner. I have a plastic bus pan in there that I'll use to do dishes or catch rainwater or anything like that. Further in there, I have some pots and pans. I keep some shredded newspaper around for the bag toilet. Again, research it yourself. And I also have some campfire skewers and grills and all that other kind of stuff in the back there if I'm ever at a campsite and I want to use those. For the most part, this burner has just been fine for all my needs, man. Like, I'm one guy. I cook one Mr. Noodles, I cook one pot of craft dinner, I cook whatever. And it's fast. I'm surprised at how fast this thing works. Compared to my electric heating element at home, this is much faster. Yeah, it went so fast. It heats water so fast. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I mean, it's been getting a little bit used to like boondocking from an apartment, but I'll be honest, this is way better. I decided to do this and live in here full time. I was in my apartment and it was getting really bad. Couldn't get mail, people stealing stuff. People constantly getting into our stairwells, tired of stepping over the bodies to get to my apartment. Literally, and it was time to leave. I have a son, and it wasn't really safe in the area of Edmonton that we're in. This is, boondocking isn't exactly safe either, but it's a lot safer, and I don't have to pay for it. So, there's that, right? And I wanted to enjoy this. I mean, this is something I built for myself. This is something that I wanted to do. I wanted to become self-sufficient, and this has worked really out well for me. This is another little thing I did here. This is it used to be the original range vent, but what I've done is I've just made it a vent, and this is the two vents that seem to be working well for me at night. In regards, a lot of people talk about they have problems with condensation in here, and I don't really have too much, but my vent up top here doesn't seal exactly. Not yet. It will here in the winter. I'm going to get a whole bunch of stuff set up for this in the winter, but it's still August right now. I'm not worried about it overly. But with this vent open here and this open here at night, I don't really have to worry about condensation so much. It's been really good so far. In the back here, got my fire extinguisher. Got to have it in the camper. It's just, You know, gotta have it. And it's a big one. I made sure I got the big one. I got them from work. They're left over from a place I used to work. Up here is my sleeping area. And I kept the original, you know, stash things. And you got a little stash. You can put stuff in there. I got another light up here. My little hygiene kit. And I got my pillows. And I got 3 comforters in here, which does me good. Some nights I just use one. Some nights I'll sleep in just between 1 layer. Some nights I'm in between 2 layers. Some nights I'm in between all layers. This is my bear. Chocolate. Say hi. Hello. He's like 39 years old, so he doesn't want to talk to you. Yeah. Up here I have, I don't know if you can see that up there. I have a set of computer speakers, and I have a long-range Wi-Fi antenna. Works. This bugger works great. You can pick up all kinds of Wi-Fi signals from really far away. So some nights I'll just like put it up here. I'll plug in my laptop. I want to make an actual port somewhere over here where I can just plug it into the port, and then it will plug in into the roof so that it's permanently affixed to the roof. But that's a long ways away. And when I do the solar panel and all that kind of stuff, I'll be dealing with that kind of stuff. But honestly, I want to see what happens with this thing in the snow first. I'm just taking everything here step by step, and I'm building things as I need it. I got the structure and everything, you know, together just to make life here livable, and all the things that I need to make it livable, and then I'll upgrade them as I go. I mean, I started from 0, and now I have a, you know, my own little home. This is some tobacco I'm curing. If you've seen so many of my videos, camper is acting like a perfect humidor. Just so you know, I'm curing tobacco in here just like perfect. I'm really happy about this, actually. I'm gonna spread it out for the day. But up here I got some more stuff that I keep. I have this hook here for these candles. So this hook here is in the middle. I'm actually going to remove the hook, and I'm going to replace it with an eye, and I'll tell you why. Don't use hooks on the inside of your camper. They snag stuff. I've snagged so many things on that already, and I wish I'd had just put an eye here, because an eye wouldn't catch anything while a hook will. So put your hooks on your items and your eyes on the ceiling, and it will be much better. All in all, I think that's it. Not too much more to go through. So yeah, this is my truck camper, and this is Lucas from Enterprise Repair and Automation Edmonton, boondocking in the west end of Edmonton. Remember, if you can bring it back to life, bring it back to life, because it's moments when you're standing in your own home that you've fixed yourself or things like that that really make life worth living. I mean, you know, because I put all this effort and time into this, and I didn't give up on something that was an absolute write-off. I now have my own home. I'm not paying rent anymore. I'm self-sufficient. I sleep so good at night. I think when I was in my apartment, I was sleeping maybe 6 hours a night. Last night, I slept 10 and a half hours, and I didn't even wake up. It's just a wonderful feeling having something like this of your own and living like this. It's a big adjustment, excuse me, to begin with, but in the end, the payoff was well worth it. All right, take care.